for organizing this workshop and keeping a slot for me to deliver this lecture. This is one of the new topics which I will be talking about, but some part of this is not new to me, which I am habituated in delivering. The title is AIML for Revolutionizing Agriculture. That's the buzzword of the day. Everywhere in the world you will see that people are using AIML, anywhere and everywhere you will like. Maybe knowingly, maybe unknowingly, maybe really useful, may not be really useful, whatever way you look at. So what I will try to do is, I will just try to give you a rough idea why AIML should be used and point out a couple of problems related to agriculture where AI and ML could be used. Now, since we have a variety of participants, I'll also try to give you a rough idea about why we need AIML, and the other side, what is AIML? What are the advantages of AIML if we use them in this particular lecture, so that both the groups can try to integrate. And that's the fundamental aim of this particular lecture, to have an integration about these two topics. One is agriculture, the other one is AIML. So why only we are moving to agriculture? Why suddenly this has become a big issue for, at least for India? The statistics goes something like this. This is the total population that we are going to have. Out of this 9.7, maybe in India we will have 2 billions. Already you have 1.4. It's a vast population. We need food. If we compare ourselves with the developed country, possibly we don't get sufficient food to eat. I had this realization as early as 1997 when I went outside India for the first time. I used to compare what are the food items that we take regularly, every meal, and what are the food items that Japanese take in every item. There was sometimes in October 1995 when I first time went there. So then onwards, I am really interested to see that people in India get food. We do not have sufficient food to eat. We do not have balanced diet to eat. Maybe due to lack of production, maybe due to lack of supply, maybe due to lack of distribution or management or whatever it is. But the fact at this moment is the total production with this anticipated statistics is very less. We need to enhance this. We need to increase this production. And the question is, how can we do this? The standard techniques or standard tools that we have are not sufficient enough, even if we go for multiple cropping. So we need some techniques, some tools to enhance the production. That's what is needed. That's where is the necessity. And that is where our government is looking for the expertise of this IT community. Or whatever way you look at. So that is what is the fundamental need of addressing this problem. It's a very fundamental problem, but very useful problem for the country. Very useful. More specifically to this eastern part of India, where we have plain land. Northern part, we do not have that much of plain land, so the agriculture part is little less. Although we had green revolution in Punjab itself. This side, of course, needs this. Yes, we need the help of technology for enhancing the production of agriculture. So how can we do that? That is what is the issue. That is what is the point. If you look at the statistics, you see that 20% of India's GDP comes from agriculture. 20% is a big number. GDP. 20%, 1/5 of the domestic product comes from agriculture. If we can become self-sufficient in food, possibly India will get its position. So that's why all our governments are taking special interest in agriculture. Millions of dollars are being spent for this. There are many government organizations to handle this. It's another reason which will tell you why we should put emphasis on this particular technique. We use tools for agriculture. You see that the market is very high. This is the growth of the market. So if we can export, our foreign reserve will go off. The country's status, the economic status, is measured by that. How stable is our economy? Will be determined by the reserve, foreign currency that we have. So we need this. We can export. Last year, there was a big heat wave. Not last year, this year it's big heat wave. Agricultural production went down. Indian government failed to export. The government decided not to export. So no party. So if we have some technique to combat that odd weather, odd climate, then possibly we would not have to lose this money. We could not do that. Very less production because of heat wave. If we could have applied some tools, some techniques to combat that, then possibly our production level would have been the same. We could have earned millions and millions of dollars. So that is why people are looking for this. That is, we need this. The sum of the sectors of agriculture. Possibly, we can use machine learning tools, AI tools, for enhancing the production. These things gradually I will come one by one. How to do this? Which machine learning tool will be used and how will they be used? And we can enhance the crop production. We can do a kind of precision weather monitoring or climate monitoring. This is what was the problem last year. We could have monitored that problem. Then possibly we could have taken some measure to minimize the loss. We could not do that. So there was a huge loss. Ecosystem is very important. Urbanization is going on everywhere. The place where you are sitting here, maybe 15 years back, it was a forest land. Still today, if you go to the other side of the road, you see there is forest land. So we are cutting trees, we are closing the ponds, we are having this sort of concrete buildings. The size of the world is limited. So the agricultural land either that is limited. If we are occupying that or we are making buildings, the total cultivable land is gradually decreasing. We can increase that. So what is the alternative? Enhanced production. Try to discover tools and techniques so that the production goes up. That is where we need to apply it. Because we cannot increase the size. If we measure the total amount of land that we have all over the world, it's fixed. And gradually we are increasing this big city size, urban size, we are cutting trees, we are losing out the ponds. So overall ecosystem is getting disturbed. Whatever we can. So what is the alternative? Alternative is usage. Use some modern tools, use some techniques, discover something to minimize this effect. Let's try to have a balance. That's what is the aim of using AI, ML or any other tools. I'm not going to claim that AI, ML is the only tool for this. One of the tools. One of the very useful tools. Because majority of the techniques or tools of AI and ML, artificial intelligence, rely on data. Almost data driven. From the agricultural field, we get a lot of data. Can we analyze that data? Using some of these tools. Discover the rule from that and use that rule for mankind. Then possibly that will be very much useful to the society. That is why government is so much, is investing so much money. If you really read news, you will see that the central government is giving few thousand crores for building the ecosystem of cyber physical system, building the ecosystem of IoT. What is cyber physical system or what is IoT? Nothing but collection of sensors. These sensors are going to give you data. This collected data needs to be analyzed by this AI, the data science group, data mining. Big data analytics group, statisticians, mathematicians, whatever name you give. All of them will come together to analyze this data and come up with certain rules that this is what is happening. And using those rules, maybe we can. Say for example, you analyze certain data and you find out that okay, the type of soil that Odisha had is suitable for a particular crop. Like the millet production. Millet is a big thing. The highest exporter. So must be some agricultural scientist or data scientist have pointed out that this type of crop has the highest kind of yielding in this sort of soil. So that is the rule that is being discovered from analyzing the data. You can use mathematics to analyze the data. You can use statistics to analyze the data. You can use machine learning to analyze the data. So, AI to analyze the data, anything. The ML or AI, these are very easy tools to analyze the collected data. Very easy to do, very simple to do. That's why these are becoming very popular. Even without knowing what is AI, what is, you can simply use the tools as tools. And that is where is the success of AI. Maybe if you are from a field of geography or geology, or agriculture, or whatever it is. You need to understand what is machine learning, what is artificial intelligence. What you know is if I give this data, this technology will tell me what are the things available in this. This IoT system, the overall IoT system that people are trying to build for agriculture. Let's say, what are they doing? They are implanting a number of sensors inside the field, collecting data from that sensors. Let's say, at what time the farmer wants to irrigate. That needs to be determined. Because you don't need to go, the farmer does not need to go to the land and find out what is the water level there. There are a couple of sensors implanted there, and these sensors are collecting the data. They are measuring the water level in that and sending the data to the person through some mobile app or whatever it is. And from that data or analysis, through the machine learning algorithm, you can predict that way. Okay, today you don't need to go for irrigation. Tomorrow you don't need to go for irrigation. You go for irrigation after 10 minutes. So that's what the farmers are looking for. That's what the farmers need today. Now, this has a couple of advantages that every day you don't need to go there. So you save money, you save labor cost, and the number of time that you will irrigate is again an optimum number. So there also the funding that you will be using is less. So your total input, total investment will be less. It will be beneficial. So these are the extra advantages that you will get if you use any of this. Since this gathering is a little bit more experienced than whatever I was talking about just layman's level, I'll just try to introduce what is AI, what is ML, how and exactly in what position they can be used. You don't need to have any previous knowledge of what is what. That's common sense. Common sense will tell you what is natural intelligence, what is we are looking for, what people are trying to do. All of us are intelligent. The whole set of people, maybe 70, 80 people sitting on. So I don't need to define what is intelligent. But technically, if you define or design, what intelligence means is you can do things better, faster, in a smarter way than what machines can do. The machine that we are using here, this machine is a kind of one-human computer. It can do the repeated jobs very fast. If I ask you to compute the addition of 10,000 numbers, it will be very difficult. Machine does it. A human being does not need to do that. It's not really that intelligent. But what is an intelligent activity is, depending on the temperature level, depending on whether today there is sun or not, you will design your dress. Depending on the time that you have, you will decide whether you will take a taxi or you will take a bus. That's a smart decision. There's a complex problem, complex issue, you want to solve it. You can do it much better than that. Yesterday we were listening to that cultural program. As soon as somebody stands over there, you know what sort of dance he or she is going to do. What is the performance he or she is going to do. So these are intelligent activities which machines cannot do straight away. Now, if we can design a machine which can mimic this, which can do these jobs also, then we should say that machine is intelligent. That is what is artificial intelligence. The machine that we are using here is not intelligent. It's a dumb machine. It can do repetitive jobs. regular jobs tirelessly. So if we can design a machine which will be able to have the intelligence level as we have, with human being have, but will work harder than us. We human beings are very much fatigued. If I ask someone to stand in cold weather for an hour, the person will feel weak. I can put a machine there. So if the machine has the ability, even a fraction, whatever ability we have, the overall production will go off. Because the machine will work day and night, the machine will work in sun, the machine will work when there is rain. Machine will not become tired. Machine will not be disrupted by the mobile call. Machine will not be disrupted by the WhatsApp. The machine has these advantages. That's why people are trying to design some machine. It's called artificial intelligence or robotics, where the machines will have better capability than this particular machine. Those machines will be able to do some jobs at least, or whatever we can do today. Will not be the whole. Well, final goal is to do the same job that we do. But that's still a far cry. If at least some part can be done, that's going to be a very great use for us. That's what is artificial intelligence. We are intelligent. Whatever activities we do, if a machine can do that, we will say that the machine is intelligent. But a very simple explanation, nothing great. Whatever we can do, the machine cannot do today. If the machine can do it tomorrow, that machine is intelligent. All of us use mobile phones. We say smartphone. If you ask me, I don't find any smart activity. Yes, we are saying this is a smartphone. What is the smartness? What can it do? Can it do anything on its own? Can it do anything that a small child can do? Let's say you say baby is crawling on this road and suddenly it hits something. He or she will never go by that road. Can your mobile phone make a decision like this? Where is the smartness? Can you really design a machine? Can you design a mobile phone that will work like the child? The child knows that until unless I cry, my mother is not going to give me food. So she cries. That is what she learned. He learned. That is what is learning. What is learning? Learning is from experience. So the intelligence comes from that learning ability. So that's why ML is a part of AI. The whole thing is AI, artificial intelligence. You can have AI in many ways. One way of building AI system is machine learning. What is machine learning? Machine learning is nothing but mimicking the learning ability or learning techniques or learning ways of human beings. The way we learn. You take a route from here to the airport. If you find that okay, this is congested, next day you will not take that. Learning from your experience. Maybe if you start at 5 p.m., you will see there is more congestion. Next day you will not try to start at 5 p.m., you will start at 7 p.m. Because at that time the traffic congestion will be less. This is what is learning. All of us are learning. Every day we are learning. So we are learning from the external environment. That is nothing but data. Whatever we are getting, whatever we are learning from is nothing but data. That is the data that okay, if I take this particular route, I take some other. So that was the previous data where from you. If you think of your class, a teacher comes and teaches you. So nobody can make you learn. The teacher cannot make you learn. What does the teacher do? The teacher gives you the data. I will be talking for 1.5 hours. Give you data, nothing else. I cannot make you learn. Learning is yours. You have to take the data that I am giving. You have to analyze that. You have to find out the summary that I am giving. And that's all what we do. We don't remember anything and everything. So what we try to store is the rule, learned version. So learning in human being is nothing but modifying something inside this. Biologists say this. Neurobiologists say this. We have something what is called neural network or brain, where we have 10 to the power 11 number of small processes or neurons. These neurons, your learning ability, your learning capability is dependent upon the interconnectivity. If you are learning, the connectivity is going on. If we believe the biologists, all of us are born with the same level. It's not that somebody is born intelligent. It depends upon how he or she is acquiring the data and manipulating the data, extracting knowledge from the data and modifying his or her own architecture. One teacher teaches in a class. Students learn 10 different things. The data was same, the learning was different. So that depends upon him, how he will. Anything that is coming out from here is nothing but data. I can see some of you are busy looking at mobile phones. Some of you are thinking something else at the back. What you are doing is you are missing some of the data. You do not know which of these data is important to you, which of these is not known beforehand. So if you are missing any one of the important points, you are learning this. That's the reason why, taught by the same teacher, amount of learning by different people. So learning is this. Learning is nothing but data, analyzing the data, framing some kind of rule of language. Nothing more, nothing less. So coming to the agriculture domain, what you will do is, you will see that, okay, if I collect data from various parts of Odisha, you will see, okay, it's a kind of red soil, it's a kind of red soil, and in this red soil, these sort of trees were that is the rule you generate. Kind of vague rule, may not be 100% correct. So if you have more data, and machine learning tools are nothing but this. The way we learn, a machine tries to mimic that. A machine tries to copy that. We collect data, we analyze data, extract information out of it. If we can design a machine which will take that data, analyze that data, and frame some rules on its own, then we say that the machine is a machine learning technology. So AI is a bigger umbrella, sub-umbrella is machine. And nowadays we have the biggest buzzword, deep learning. It is even a smaller subset. Machine learning can be achieved by many ways again. One way of achieving machine learning is we try to mimic the architecture of the human brain. That's one way. Suddenly it became very popular because of success of it. So AI is basically trying to mimic the whole human brain, human system. Machine learning is one way of achieving that. Deep learning is even a smaller part of machine learning. So this is AI driven. This is AI operated, controlled. Controlling is done by AI. You don't have to go there. You can see that amount of water that is being sprayed is very uniform. Manually, you cannot do that. And it can work for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, as many hours as you need in battery. We'll spray for half an hour and then we'll sit. That's the advantage. This is where is the success. This is why people are trying to use these tools. And those who are computer scientists here, their job is to design some machine like this, which will be much more efficient, much more smart than what we have today. We have something today. Even a faster one. Can we have even a cheaper one? Can we have even a better one? Robust one. That's what people are looking for. So this is what was the summary I was talking about. We are intelligent. The way we learn, we need to impart that in a machine. If the machine can imitate that, there could be an obvious question: how do we test whether a machine is intelligent or not? And there are many ways to do that. Simplest way is you ask the same set of questions to a machine and a human being. And if they give similar answers, you cannot distinguish them. A very simple way. There are many complicated ways to check whether a machine is intelligent. That's a simple way. And yes, I'll ask the same set of questions of human being and a machine. And if I see that the answer they are giving are more or less same, I cannot distinguish which one is coming from the machine and which one is coming from the human being. That's intelligent machine. Because it's behaving like human. So that is where we need AI ML. So this is what is the technical details. Collect data, analyze data, take some decision. This is your IoT. Everyone working in the field of IoT is doing nothing but this. Sensors are placed in different locations. I don't know whether we have intelligent sensors here. Nowadays, the whatever we call it, green buildings or whatever it is, all the switches are managed in such a way that if there are no people, the power will go off. As soon as you enter the room, sound is captured. The light is on. So that's a sensor. There is some kind of smartness there. As soon as you enter that sound, it can detect that there is a person over here. So automatically some of the bulbs will be on. In many buildings nowadays in all developed countries, so that is the case. Otherwise, what happens? You waste a lot of energy, a lot of power. Maybe you think of washroom that is being used maybe 10% of. But if you forget to put up the light, remaining 90% time it is wasted. But if you have an intelligent sensor what they are, then possibly that 90% you save a lot of money. You save in your electricity bill. You will not have the problem of power cut like we have in Bhubaneswar. So that is where that IoT role is coming up. That is where the control of AI system is coming up. There are some minor issues. Like say, if we see that these are two groups. Nobody needs to teach a child that this. Let's say there is a child of 3 years old and you give a set of alphabets to the child. Ask him or her to group. What you start them? Automatically they will group it. Maybe based on color, maybe based on shape, maybe based on something else. That's what he or she learned. The same thing here. The round shape. The machine is learning this. The machine can automatically do this. Basically, what you have is a set of sensors where from you are getting data, collecting the data. Then the machine learning algorithm is here. The data mining algorithm is here. Data science is here. That is analyzing this collected data to give you certain rules. Very standard example that usually I use is that of supermarkets, or shopping malls, or whatever you see. They are nothing but modified versions of grocery shops that we have in our villages. No difference, the same thing. Only change is very nicely decorated, nicely organized. If you go to a grocery shop, you will see that in one part there are banana, in another part there is bread, maybe milk is put inside the, maybe a jam is somewhere else, but all these are breakfast items. This data scientists, data science people, data mining people came up and discovered and told that these are all breakfast items. Put them in one location. Then life of buyers will be simple. And this knowledge transforms the whole business. That's a simple rule. What are the items associated? These are the items associated. Air ticket, if you buy an air ticket, automatically you will see there are advertisements for hotels. These are associated items, linked items. So the data was there. Data science people, machine learning people came and analyzed that and told that this is what is the business. And okay, these are the breakfast items, put them in one location. You go to a supermarket today, that's what you see. You will see that bread, butter, banana, jam, jelly, everything is in one location. Because those are breakfast items. So the sale goes up, business goes up. It becomes easier for you to market. So that is what is AI. Similarly, think of some data from your agricultural domain. And then it's a very nice example, handcrafted example done by one of my students. Look at this. This will tell you what is machine learning, what you need to do for your domain, in not the agriculture. You see that it's a human being, it's a machine, it's an intelligent machine. Learned something. This interrogator is asking a couple of questions to check how much is the level or what is the level of this or AI driven system or machine learned system or intelligent system or smart system, whatever name you give. So she's asking a couple of questions. You see that this machine is able to answer some of them. questions are being perfectly answered. Some are not answered. So that means this machine has become intelligent to some extent. It may not be fully. It's not that dumb. It's neither intelligent. So what you do is, like the machine is answering this question, that is, I can see 2 human beings. Maybe it will fail, then 5 trees, then a dog. What thing is that? It could not distinguish anything. Now let's say that give some more input, some more data. So this should come from your sensors. It's inputting some more data, giving you some more data. That's what we do in the class. First lecture, second lecture, third lecture, fourth lecture. So you should match it gradually and gradually. That's what is learning. That's what is machine learning. If you are doing it in human learning, if machine is doing machine learning. No difference. Same. Some more data is being fed to this machine to learn. Now, once this is over, she will possibly ask more questions to the machine, and the machine should be in a position to answer more questions than what the machine was able to do previously. So this change that happened due to the addition of the data, due to the imparting of the new data, is what is the learning. It's incremental. So that's what all of us are supposed to do from this function. We have certain level. The speakers have given you some data. From that data, you should modify your architecture here, so that you become better equipped for your job. That difference is what is the learning that you have from the domain experts, from the data. If a machine can do this, then it is machine. That's what is needed. So if we can take some data from the agriculture domain and do this job, gradually and gradually the machine will be in a position to give us much better decisions. That's why machine learning is being employed here. That's what is the utility of machine learning in the So you will need many people in the domain, in the ecosystem. You need field experts. You need electrical engineers, electronic engineers, who will help you in designing the sensors, correcting the sensors or implanting the sensors. So which you will get data. And that data you will be analyzing as a computer scientist or a data scientist, machine learning guy. That is, this is the data, and from the analysis of this data, you will come up with the things you tell. That, okay, this is what is the finding out of this data. But let's say a very simple example, that you take the photographs of various types of leaves. In many fields, people are cultivating paddy. So you collect data from various parts. If some of the parts are defective, then that image will be different from other images. Because the reflectance value of the leaves will change. If it's a green leaf, it will have certain type of reflectance. If it's not a green one, automatically the reflection level will change. So the data that you will have from these defective leaves will be different from the data that you will have for normal leaves. So this distinction the machine should be in a position to do using the ML algorithms. And the machine will give you a decision very quickly. That's what is the advantage. That's why machine learning is being applied. It's very simple. For human eye, it's very difficult to detect. As I am emphasizing, we are becoming tired. We do not want to work. Machine is not like that. Machine works. So you collect the data, give it to machine. Machine will say, okay, This field, there are issues. It's are defective. Maybe you need to put insecticides. Let's say you take photographs from the top. The paddy and the weeds, they are different. The reflectance value of paddy and weeds are different. So the machine learning algorithm will tell you, okay, this part is the paddy, this part is the weed. You can remove that. In fact, you can use another robot to remove that. The robot could be equipped with those imaging devices. It will look at that and it will decide whether it's a weed or a paddy. It will remove the weed and so you don't need to go there. That is where is the utility. So these are some of the fields. Not one field, two fields. Any field you can use it. If you grasp the basic idea. Then what machine learning does is basically distinguish between different types of data. Nothing more than this. It tries to find out the regularities in the data. It tries to find out particular kind of if-then format from the data. So your data is very important. So machines usually learn from mistakes. Machines usually update their knowledge. We also do it. We need to practice again and again. That's what is lacking in our students. The semester exam, how we study. It's not a good way because there is no learning there. You have to start practice it. So that's what I tried to show with that animation. There will be more data, more learning. So on the previous night, you will have only a small set of data, not large amount of data. But throughout the semester, if you take data and learn and data again, learn and so on and so forth, then your learned level will be very high. That's what is needed. It's a data-driven technique. That is very important. As much data you can try to collect and use the data to modify your system. That's how you are learning. That's how our machine learns. Completely data-driven science. Data science, you call it machine learning, you call it AI. Basically, all of them are the same. Let's say you are trying to park a vehicle. First day you cannot do it properly. Second day, you need to remember that what is the mistake that you did. Don't do that. Change your style. That is what is learning. That is what you are doing, learning from the mistake. Learning from the mistake, update the knowledge. Do that again and again. You will mature. There's no big thing inside machine learning. Very simple thing. Very common idea. Everybody can do this. Designing a good machine learning algorithm would be difficult. But using machine learning, understanding a machine learning is not at all difficult. It's very simple. Nothing, no complexities there. You give data, the system will automatically extract. Give more data, system will modify its findings. So this is how machine. So this is the overall summary. The machines learn from data. Initially give some data. Machine will train itself. Give more data. Machine will retrain itself. Modify itself. Initially give us the machine learn something. That's what is the training phase. Connect to your semester system. That's what the teacher does. Teacher comes, teaches and teaches and teaches. That's a data given to train you. Next part is what is a kind of validation. How do you validate the system? Validation of the system means to test how much you have learned. So what the teachers usually do is teachers ask you certain questions, maybe quizzes, maybe assignments, maybe class tests, whatever it is, with less marks to test how much you have learned. If not done properly, give more input, more classes, remedial classes. So through this, the basic idea is to make you learn. Give you more data. Take the data, modify your system. Take the data, modify your system. So here also, agriculture domain, if you think of the same thing. Take more data, collect more data, your rule will be more perfect. Machine learning algorithm will give you a rule. If you can give good data, generative will be perfect. If you give less data, generative will not be that much. That is what is the cracks of the whole system. So these points maybe I have already told. Major advantages is it's completely data driven. You do not need to have any previous knowledge of mathematics or statistics, computer science or anything. Nothing. You do not need them. Use it as a black box. Give your data, ask the machine what to do. Advantage will be it will not fall asleep. It will not make errors. It will not be biased. Nothing will happen. Completely unbiased decision. Whatever decision it will give it to you, and whatever decision it will give it to me. We human beings do not do that. We want depending on the circumstances. So machines have many advantages. We can use them for any and every problem if it is a data driven problem. I'm not blaming that anywhere in the world you can use machine learning. You first look how good is your data. You have some data, sufficient amount of data. There are certain rules and techniques to validate how much data you need and what from which data you can get what sort of rules. There are plenty of some such things, and that is what is taught in depth in machine learning. But if you want to use it, maybe all the time interrupting it. What you need to understand is this. It's data driven, completely data driven. So when I can have more data, appropriate data. Plenty of domains, even if you think of agriculture, plenty of domains you can use. Let's say first you want to measure the soil quality. You can use machine learning tools. You want to measure the moisture level. You want to measure what is the manure concentration, say sodium potassium concentration. You want to check whether there are minerals even under so many feet. You want to irrigate it. What time you want to irrigate it? By how much amount you want to irrigate it? Which angle you want to irrigate? We have robots. You don't need to put it only from the bottom side or this side or that side. Maybe you can tilt it and spray water. You want to spray pesticides. If you want to do it with hand, it will not be uniform. Use a robot. It will be completely uniform. Fully uniform. If you give it from the top, it may not be useful. If you give from a tilted angle, it will be useful. So all these optimizations can be done using machine learning tools. Overall, is your production will go off, your cost will come down. That is why all these things are becoming more. Given that ML algorithms are doing so great, does not mean that the traditional algorithms are bad, traditional techniques are bad. As I told you, supermarkets are nothing but grocery shops, modified grocery shops. So similarly, here also, all precision agriculture, all modern agriculture are nothing but modified version of existing things. Not that we are discovering in a great way. What we are doing is trying to reduce the burden, increase production. Let's say farmer is ill and is not going to the farm for 1 month. It can so happen that insects have done something. But if you are monitoring it sitting in your room every day, maybe you could have applied insecticide. That is what is the job of AI. That's what the job of AI. Not giving you a new tool or new technique. This can predict at what time you should plant seeds. What is the proper time, depending on the weather, depending on the rain forecast, depending on temperature forecast, and all these things. What would be a proper time for putting the seeds? That is what AI is supposed to do. Unless the weather prediction is proper, you may lose. That's what happened last year. If farmers could have taken that into consideration, that's okay, there could be heat wave, and possibly they would have something else which is resistant to that. That's what is the job AI and ML is doing. It's not disturbing the existing system. That's a very standard thing that people will come up with, saying, okay, the farmers will lose job, what will happen to them, what will they eat? No, it's not. They're going to have their things. The only thing is AI ML is doing is assisting, helping, boosting them up, nothing more than. Then finally we have come to you have your device, very good tab, very good mobile, which is actually controlling the food. You are sitting in your room, you are optimizing anything and everything, and that is what is needed. Through that optimization process, you can enhance the productivity. That's what we need. The first slide showed that by 2050 we should enhance the production by 70%. So these could be some of the tools which will help you to enhance the productivity. That's why we need them. This is again the data which says that yes, production level and the marketing level is big up, like anything. Effect of AI and ML is enhancing like this. So if we want to be a player in the global market, if we want to be a big player in the global market, possibly it is high time for us. We have plenty of agriculture, than India has. This is why emphasis is given on this particular. Now I'll just gradually give you a couple of names or problems where this sort of techniques or tools would be useful. Just a couple of them. I'm not giving you an exhaustive list. So all these problems have a single solution. Collect data, analyze the data, come up with a rule. No complexity. Say for example, you want to predict how much will be my yield tomorrow. This year, how much paddy is going to grow in this particular field. Use some predictive tools of AI. If you want to detect whether some of the plants are disease affected, use image analysis. Take photographs and analyze that and find out whether the leaves are proper, whether the stems are proper. You want to irrigate a particular position, particular location. When do you need to do that? What time of the day is proper? Like if you irrigate in the morning and there is a big sunshine, you lose something. If you do it maybe possibly at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., there will not be any sun. So maybe you will require less amount of water. All these things can be predicted, can be designed, can be optimized using machine learning algorithms. And that whole business together is termed as precision farming. That's what is the precision. You are taking your decision for a precise job. When to put the seeds, when to put manures, what season, what time, which hour of the day, which type of plant. All these things, all of them can be more or less predicted or determined using this. So precision farming is overall thing. You want to monitor the crop at regular intervals, see whether there are weeds, see whether you have some defects, some insects are eating it. Regularly you can monitor it. Put some IoT devices, put some sensors, collect data regularly, and use some machine learning. And nowadays what happens is we have plenty of apps. So the apps are practically doing this. These apps are practically taking the data from there, analyzing the data using the backend using machine learning algorithms, and telling you, okay, whether this crop is defective or not, whether there are diseases or not, whether insects are coming there or not, whether weeds are there or not, what is the manual level there, what is the sodium level there, what is the potassium level there, everything is predicting. So you need them. Weather prediction, weather monitoring is a very important thing for precision agriculture. So nowadays you can get kind of long-term prediction of weather. This summer whether we are going to have heat wave and which day, what would be the temperature, how much will be the rainfall, what will be the humidity, all these things, this can be predicted. Again, you are using AIML there from the previous records. Okay, if the air temperature is this, if the vapor moisture level is this, if the temperature is this, then there is a possibility of rain. That is done by machine learning algorithms. All the IMDs do that. So take the information from the IMD. IMD is again using machine learning to analyze the data. Last year, what was the condition? And what condition? How much rain was there? What was the pressure level? What was the temperature level? What was the moisture level? All these things. So take information from IMD, take information from the weather prediction level, use it. This will enhance your production. That's, I mean, everything comes under the record precision. So again, that yield prediction, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Nowadays, this insurance business has also come up for crops. Like we have medical insurance, you can insure your crops also. So there are people, there are groups who are doing this business. You can insure by giving certain amount of money, and even if there is no production, you get back your money. So those people are doing business like medical insurance, car insurance. yield can also, crops can also be issued. Can do that. This is a very important issue in India, supply chain management associated with agriculture. Our supply chain management system, our cold storage system is very bad. We cannot store food. So that's why you will see that if you go to market now, the coriander leaf is very cheap. Tomato price is very cheap. Cauliflower is very cheap. Because all these crops are maturing now and there are not sufficient number of cold storages to store them. So if we can have a nice supply chain, which will ensure that from the farmers to the city dwellers, it comes in an automatic and a smart way, depending on the need, and the remaining crops are stored in cold storage, then possibly we are not going to waste any of the crops. That's a very big market. We need a number of startups there, number of techniques needed there, which will have a good optimization technique. That is, this crop will mature, the tomato will mature, and so on and so forth. So how much is the level of consumption, how much is the need, predicted consumption, we'll use that. Remaining this much I would have to store in a cold storage. So let us manage cold storage, let us create cold storage. It's a big market. So for optimization of all these things, you need some of the AI tools. AI will tell you what to do. AI tools will tell you what to do. And these are the things what I am talking about all the time. Disease detection, then irrigation and other things. Basically, your job is to analyze the previous records and predict what you need to do. That's all. It's not a very big deal. It's nothing great thing that you will be doing. This is what is needed. So for this, what practically people are doing, they're taking images from the previously people are using satellite images. Nowadays you have drones. Anywhere and everywhere you are having drones. IoT has come off. So now you are kind of implanting the sensors inside the fields, inside the crops. So life is becoming easier and easier. Because previously, maybe if you think of say 10 years back, they were analyzing the crop level using satellite pictures. If you take picture from such a long distance, the size of the maize or wheat or whatever, it is very small. So difficult to find out whether they are defective or normal or they are disease affected or not. But nowadays we have drones. You are taking photographs from a not much distance. So the level of the images, the clarity of the images, kind of resolution of the images is quite high. So you can do that. Use. Or very locally, if you want to use, you use sensors throughout your paddy field, throughout your crops. Then you automatically get it. So these are the tools that are coming up to enhance your production. A number of mobile apps are coming up. Mobile apps are practically taking the data from the sensors, analyzing the data using data science or machine learning tools, and giving you a visual representation. Let's say it's taking the data and predicting, okay, tomorrow the water level of that soil moisture content will be up this much. In the background, there is machine learning. And the app is telling the farmer does not need to know machine learning. Farmer knows, oh, tomorrow the moisture level will be this. And depending on that, he or she can design, or even the app can tell you that, okay, if the moisture level is this, then you need to give this much of it. Or if the condition of the leaves are like this, maybe you need to have pesticides. So the app is going to tell you using machine learning. Life is becoming very simple. Some of the examples which practically people are using. Theory, these are practical. People are doing like this. So this gentleman is controlling the position of this. Very easy like this. So many things you are practically optimizing. Reducing the cost, labor cost, and financial assistance, climate resilient, awareness, crop selection, agricultural tools, whatnot. Any and every way you can do. Where is the whole system, whole ecosystem? From the app, and the app is created by a computer scientist or a right? Where the decision is coming from the data collected from the sensor. It could be IoT system, it could be sensor, it could be images from the satellites or whatever it is. Some of the major things you can predict the crop yield, how much yield you are going to have, accordingly what will be the price, then spraying of the water, spraying of insecticides, pesticides, and the diagnosing diseases, crop and soil monitoring, anything and everything is actually being controlled. It depends upon what purpose you want to do. You may not get single app for doing all these things. That tracking using this set of robots. This exists. If you go to these Western countries, you will see that minus 30 degrees of temperature. So you don't feel like going there and working. Farmer does not want to go to the field. They're using this set of robots. Very precision arms. So this is the job the computer scientists are doing. They are designing this. And the farmers are using this. So what we need is basically again, they are calling it green 4.0. Like industry 4.0, they are calling it green 4.0. So fourth generation of green revolution is needed. And that's what is going to come after. Intelligent techniques, intelligent tools are going to be in such a manner that you will get fourth revolution, like industry 4.0. In fact, there are plenty of startups, plenty of companies doing big business in this, helping the farmers. The market is quite open. It exists. If farmers need help, farmers can contact any one of these. If you want to do something, maybe this is a kind of previous input for your future decision, and what exists and what does not exist. What is the quality of the existing app? This one is weather forecast. Accordingly, you can make a decision. Automated weed and pest control. These things are using, all of them are using AI, all of them are using ML, all of them are using data science. But rather than competing with each other, different companies coming out with different types of services. Each one of them is doing good business. Personalized crop recommendation. What sort of crop you should think of doing tomorrow? Whether you want to grow tomato or you want to grow ginger, which one is going to be more cost effective, more productive? If I remember correctly,